Celebrate Canadian filmmakers on Super Channel Fuse with an exclusive homegrown event.
I'm ready.
Go.
The Canadian Film Fest presented by Super Channel brings this year's festival into your home for a second year as a virtual experience.
Goodbye.
Every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night until April 18th. Enjoy the premieres of indie films and shorts from critically acclaimed and up-and-coming Canadian producers and directors.
And this is where the donkey starts talking.
Immerse yourself in this inspiring and spirited event, both on air and online, with live Facebook Q&A sessions that follow the films.
Makes sense. Start it.
Experience the Canadian Film Fest, proudly presented by Super Channel.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Canadian Film Fest. I'm Naomi Snieckus.
And I'm Nigel Downer.
And we are thrilled to be hosting the opening red carpet of the Canadian Film Fest, which is this amazing organization that supports Canadian films and their creation and the industry. If you haven't checked out their website, go to canfilmfest.ca. Find out all the things that are happening this week because it's awesome. Hey, Nige. It's good to see you.
Naomi, it's such a pleasure to be here with you screen by screen, you know?
Right? I want to just take a quick moment and recognize a land territory. Right now, I'm on the Anishinaabe territory. And if you want to check out what territory you're on, you go to native-land.ca and find out where you are. And hopefully by recognizing the land territory, we are supporting their sovereignty. I am so supporting this moment of being with you, Nigel, because we know each other from Second City, but it sure is nice to hang out with you virtually.
Yeah, we go way back when I started in 2009, I think, or so, and you taught me and you directed me, and we just had a great rapport together ever since.
So good. And I have to say, like right now, there's so many pros. I mean, there's some cons for sure about having this online, but some pros, right? Like no lineups. I don't have to worry about sneaking in my homemade popcorn. No problem.
That's a very good point.
Right?
I mean, pants are optional, right? We all know that. For sure.
Sticky
floors. Oh, you're wearing
Screw
pajamas.
the sticky floors. Drinking, you're not allowed to drink in the movie cinema. Guess what? Do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty good thing. There's no gum. There's nobody sitting behind you going, oh man, I love this part of this movie. Oh, when the daddy gets all the sugar on them. Anyway, I don't want to give anything away, but you know, there's a spoiler alert.
Yeah,
there's a lot that's going on.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. I mean, this is a great time to, grab your best seat, the best seat in the house, because it's likely your seat, your side of the couch, or maybe like your lazy boy that you can just kick up your feet and relax. And
yeah.
Oh, hey. Hello.
This is so fun. Hi, Catherine. Nice to see you. Catherine Martineau from
Montreal.
Girls Shouldn't Walk Alone at Night. Welcome.
Hi.
Okay, Catherine, j'espère que ma français est pas mal et j'essayais de parler en français pour vous parce que je sais que vous êtes français. Alors, I will say the questions in English, but I'll also say them in French because, we're in Canada, right?
Perfect. Thank you. Okay.
So, ma première question. The two lead actors in your short film, which is so beautiful, so beautifully shot, they had such amazing chemistry. And I want to know if they had that chemistry from day one and how did you nurture that chemistry? Because without it, that movie, you needed them to have chemistry. And now I'm going to say that in French without a lot of those words. I'm going to say, les deux acteurs principaux avaient une excellente chimie. Est-ce que ça va être là le premier jour? Et comment avez-vous nourri cela?
I'll give my response in French, but okay. So, premièrement, je dirais, mon but premier était que les deux actrices, je voulais deux actrices qui se connaissaient. C'était un objectif que j'avais dès le départ. Donc, je savais que je voulais travailler avec Amaryllis Tremblay, qui interprète le personnage de Chantal. Donc, j'ai demandé à Amaryllis de me faire une liste des actrices avec lesquelles elle aimerait jouer. Une liste d'actrices avec lesquelles elle serait confortable de jouer. Elle m'a donné une liste d'environ 10 personnes que j'ai rencontrées en casting. Dans cette liste-là, il y avait Naima Ricci. Donc, puis ensuite, au casting, on a rencontré les 10 personnes sur la liste d'Amaryllis, plus j'ai casté d'autres actrices. Amaryllis était présente au casting, puis c'est comme ça que j'ai fait le choix de Naima. Ensuite, avant le tournage, on s'est rencontrés quelques fois. On a répété quelques scènes, on a visité les lieux de tournage. On les a visités avant le tournage. Donc, ça a permis, les filles se connaissaient, elles connaissaient bien leurs personnages, elles connaissaient les lieux du tournage. Donc, ça leur a permis d'être, d'être à l'aise ensemble et d'être à l'aise dans le film et dans leur rôle.
Fantastic. I love watching Nigel's face during your answer because he looked a level of terrified. But I would say the overall is that you were saying, Catherine, that you wanted to find somebody that they enjoyed playing together, to have that chemistry, yes. And then you went to those locations to bring out the chemistry more.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Nigel, you want to ask a question and I'll translate it?
Yes, 100%.
My response in English too, it's not a problem.
Très bien. OK, on the prochaine en anglais then.
Great. That was fantastic. It just brought me back to hearing all that French, really brought me back to grade 9 French when I couldn't get a grasp. You know, I really tried hard. I just couldn't get a grasp.
Funny.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this, Catherine. What was your inspiration behind this story? Like what really, where'd you get the inspiration from?
Yeah, but I have a lot of different inspiration. I think, first of all, my first inspiration is from my my own teenagehood. You know, like in French, we say l'errance, like, you know, to walk and have nothing to do but everywhere to go. I'm from a small town where there are a lot of spaces. So for me, my main inspiration is from my memories, my teenagehood, the parties in the sand pit. So, and my second inspiration is, I think, what does it mean to be a girl in this, in, like, you know, what does it mean to be a girl when quand tu es dans des fêtes, dans des parties, que tu es seule la nuit, when you are alone at night, what does it mean for a girl to be alone at night? And so for me, I wanted to make a film about like the girl's drive to self-sufficiency. It's a mix of inspirations from like the need to be free, but the fear to be free, to be by yourself when you are a 16 years old girl. And I also interviewed a lot of girls of my age about their own experience on their prom night. So they told me a lot of things, and yeah, so like this type of like when you're on a party and there are a lot of like older guys and nobody knows those guys, and like this kind of dynamic in parties when you are just a 16 years old girl.
Très bien. Merci infiniment, Catherine. It's a beautiful film. I hope everybody enjoys it. And if people want to turn off their subtitles and just enjoy the French, that's another thing. It's a beautiful film and you should be really proud. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Okay, au revoir. À la prochaine. And now we have the crew cast creators of Sugar Daddy.
Yo.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Sugar Daddy.
Just strolling up on the red carpet with all the sugar, right?
Kelly McCorrick, Lauren Grant, Lori Lazinski. Hi, everybody. This is so exciting. Kelly, I feel like I have seen you at like pillar moments along the journey of this film, and I'm so thrilled that you're here. I don't want to ask how you feel about this because I'm sure it's everything in the world. I just want to know what was the catalyst, the very first thing that made you put fingers to computer to write this?
Oh man, probably something along the lines of rage, probably. I think that was the most accurate. That rage. I'm gonna go with rage. Yeah, I'm just gonna go short.
I'm checking my notes. Yeah, you're right. You got that answer right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that too, that you just a hard stop, just rage. Let's keep it moving. Okay, and we'll do that. I want to ask the production team, okay? So I want to ask you, Lauren, I want to ask you, Lori, as a production team, if you could go back and change anything during production, what would you do? Or what would you do differently during the making of this fantastic film, Sugar Daddy?
Get more money.
More sugar.
Yeah, more sugar.
Yeah.
Needed more sugar.
We needed more. A lot more sugar.
More sugar. Classic Canadian film.
Yeah.
More
No,
sugar.
we had a budget level that we wanted to make the movie with, and we weren't able to get it by the time we went into production. So I wish we would have had what we absolutely needed the day we started production.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no, it was weird. Lori and I were talking about this today. It was a really joyful, collaborative experience. My kid is being really loud. This is the world.
Yeah.
That's their job, Lauren. That's their job. She's doing a great job. I had a question then Kelly, for what was your biggest, I know budget was tight, so what was the thing that you're most proud of? Like maybe a shot that you're most proud of, or?
I would say the thing I'm most definitely most proud of is that this project and this film has a knack for bringing on ruthlessly talented. Sorry, the sun is punishing. There's children, there's sun. But the film brought on so many ruthlessly talented women, and each one of them really adopted and embodied this character. So I'm most proud of the grimy, feminist, hardcore, relentless village of women we created, because each of them can take responsibility and ownership of this film. And that's what I'm most proud of across the board. It still makes me weep thinking about all the people who continue to come on board with this project.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see that. You can feel that in this project. You can feel the ensemble that you put together, both cast and crew. Nigel, you got something there, buddy?
I do. You know what? I'm glad, Kelly, that you answered the question with such camaraderie amongst your cast and crew, because speaking of community, I noticed that you hit the socials with your amazing poster. And the poster blew my mind. So I want to give, because I actually went to university for fine art, but we can talk about that later. So let's give a huge shout out to Helene Delmer.
Yes.
Okay, right. So can the three of you maybe, I don't know, just touch on the process and what you thought of the final finished product?
Of the poster or of the whole film?
The poster.
Oh, the poster.
Yeah.
The film, we used a lot of classical portraiture in our references to frame this woman and to create this female gaze of the woman. So Helene Delmer's paintings were actually in early references for the film. I know that Mara Ziegler, the costume designer, had some of her paintings in there. Jessie Jerome had some of her paintings in there as well in her lookbook. So when we were sort of dreaming up this more art-based artwork poster, she just became someone that I was like, oh, let's reach out to her. And I didn't know that it was her who had worked on Portrait of a Lady on Fire. And I told Lori and Lauren, I was like, let's do this crazy plan. And they were like, let's do it. Let's send yet another impassioned email where it's like, all right, this is a story about women and blah, 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 blah. And I sent this 4 a.m. as the theme of the film, word vomit to this incredibly talented woman. I sent her a private link, and then she was like, I watched it. It's a beautiful rage. Yes, I want to do it. And I was like, and then, yeah.
And then Kelly was like, cool, now talk to my producers about it.
Cool. They'll handle the money. And and then I did a little photo shoot, like alone in the woods, where cause she wanted different angles, and then she just like sent us a painting, and I still am in shock. And again, it's like, how lucky are we? She's just another rad collaborator in line with our values and what we're trying to promote with this film.
I love that so much. And I feel like, I mean, even knowing the three of you as a team, I think it is so important. This film, you can see that it's an ensemble. You can see that the cast and crew are invested. Was there a moment, Laurie, I want to ask you all, but was there a moment where you were like, oh, we've got a good team? Was there something you were like in sync with? Somebody finished another sentence? What was it, Lauren?
No, you go, Laurie. You go. Laurie, you have something.
Sorry, I just have a particular moment in mind that on set, when I make a lot of dramas, so does Lauren. So, you're in these sets that are like, there's tears, it's serious, you got to hold a lot of space. But there was one moment where there was this beautiful connection between everybody, and we were shooting the scene where it was like all the friends dancing and having a party, and it was like a music video atmosphere. It was like a party, everyone was having a good time, and Lauren and I looked over and we were like, oh right, filmmaking's fun, like, right? And it was just like that combination of like Wendy, because Wendy comes with all that like music video and visual energy and creating that, and like the DJ in it was like, she was playing the live music that we were all dancing to, and like it was just, that was to me the absolute best moment that completely encapsulated the entire experience. Was that
we're at Bambi's you're just dancing at Bambi's making a movie.
Yeah.
Okay, Lauren,
Is that similar moment, or do you have another one?
I don't know. I think we, Laurie, it's not our first movie, so for us, I think we knew it was a lucky, special experience pretty early. I think a lot of things like the story of the poster, we reached pretty high pretty often, and we often got yeses back. And I think we sometimes had moments of being like, oh, this is kind of happening. I feel like I have two, honestly, both the first day and the last day of filming. The very first day, we're filming, columns on set. We're at the Civic at the Broadview Hotel. We really wanted it. And we were so thrilled that they like kind of accommodated us in our teeny size. And I remember getting a phone call actually from Ontario Create saying, hey, we're gonna give you money. And it was the first day of the shoot, and I was like, I'm so glad, because we're filming and we really need more money, because we're just going for it. And it was really special. And honestly, the last moment of the very last day, I have a video somewhere on my Instagram of like filming the last shot and Wendy at the monitor, and suddenly her like screaming cut and like running up to Kelly. And it was like, we had a really special crew. Like I adore them, and I'm seeing so many of them post about the movie, and it's really, it doesn't happen all the time. And I think we're lucky enough to know that. So it feels very special.
Mm-hmm. Kelly, what about you? Wrapping it up with your answer.
Oh, so many times. Well, this movie has been made by the four of us. Wendy's not here, but like Lauren, Laurie, and Wendy and I for 5 years. And there were so many moments that happened in pre-production, like in Cannes in 2016, when we were trying to finance the film, and the various story editing sections where it was all of us looking at these cards on the ground being like, and then when Me Too happened and we were looking at our script, and suddenly things that we thought we were screaming and no one was listening, suddenly people were listening to. And so we looked at the script again and went, okay, we have to push this farther. We have to say more. We have to be more shrewd and more exacting in our feelings. And like, there were just so many tears and so many times where like Lauren, Laurie, and I and Wendy would just be like feeling the themes of the film so personally. And every time I watched that experience happen in Christine Armstrong, our editor, our CSA nominated editor, when she would be watching something and she'd be like, I need a second, and she'd get emotional because she's like, I've been in this. those moments like are crystalline in my head. Like they just and that's the imperative of telling female stories, is that when you then trigger something in other women and envelop them in feeling of ownership of something, that's when the magic happens. And that's what makes it so relevant, because that relevancy, all it comes from is truth and energy and like people's life force. So there are too many. The point is there's too many. Yeah. I don't know how to answer.
We're all gonna take seats now, and we're gonna watch your creation. We're also gonna watch Girls Shouldn't Walk Alone at Night. And I really encourage people to take some action during, while you're watching this or after, and support Sugar Daddy and Girls Shouldn't Walk Alone at Night. And don't just support it by a like or a retweet, like be specific. Like, I loved this moment, or when Kelly did this, or Amanda Brugel did this. Like, make sure we get specific and take the power to support these films into our own hands, because we can. And canfilmfest.ca is where you're going to find out all the information, all the handles, all the panels that they have coming up. It's quite an extraordinary organization and week. What a treat. I'm so thrilled for all of you.
Thank you so
Nigel?
much.
Yeah, you took all the words out of my mouth, and I mean, it's both of these films are beautiful. So please enjoy them, and to Naomi's point, be specific. Talk about how fantastic they look and all the people behind it, because there's so many people that put in this work to make these beautiful stories really happen. And we're talking to 3 of the people that made it happen. So let's make sure that we give everybody their just desserts, because I got some just desserts in the freezer, about to crush that watching the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Mic drop, Nigel Downer.
Boom.
I'm so jazzed to see what you 3 do together, and I feel like you're leading the way in our community with this kind of passion and purposefulness. It's a real treat to be part of your community. I'll say that.
You're the best.
Thank
Thank
you.
Yeah, thank you for having us, and catch the Q&A. We'll be back in like exactly 93 minutes plus per film.
Yes.
Yeah, stick around. And then there's the party as well. So you can all BYOB. You know, if you're overserved, it's your own fault, and you don't have to drive home at night. It's all good times. So,
Yeah. Be careful of steps. Yeah.
thank you. That's right. Thank you so much. What a treat. So go grab your seats, everybody. Grab your popcorn. I know I will. And we'll watch Sugar Daddy and Girls Shouldn't Walk Alone at Night. I love it so much. Thank you. Nigel Downer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.